Morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you listen to this. This is Tanks and Tutties, brought to you by Tubbs and Franke. Before we get into this, I just want to take the time to apologize, probably for the 10th time, about my health. I got a little sore throat right now, so I might have some coughs and some sniffing, so I just want to apologize. I know that's always a hard listen, but I'm a tank, down for repairs right now. Anyways.
There's been a lot of repairs.
Hey, you
over
know,
the last
sometimes...
year.
Sometimes an older tank, you got to think it's a 24-year-old tank. It's aging, it's gonna go through some problems. So today is August 8th. It's currently 5 p.m. This week it's just a normal episode. Locks and long shots. We'll talk about our weekends. Frankie's got the news this week. We got some big MLB stuff to talk about. Something fun that does not happen often. I'm sure everybody knows what I'm talking about there. NCAA, we haven't talked about college football in a second, but we got some news last week. And then we're going to talk about the Hall of Fame game for a little bit. And then we're going to tackle the grid and send you on your way with some roulette. Hopefully we can hit again. We just hit last week, back-to-back for the first time ever on the show. So, Frankie, how was your weekend?
Oh, what a weekend it was. Grinded the show Friday night. Saturday, grinded the show again. Paige was working both Friday and Saturday, so I didn't have a ton to do other than that. And then Sunday, I got out golfing. First time since I shot an 89. I decided to bring a witness along with me this time so that if I did shoot another great round, I at least, had somebody there to back up my scores for when Jake says, he didn't actually shoot that, whatever. I proceeded, so mind you, I shot an 89 last time I was out, 2 weeks ago. Shot an 87 this weekend. Witness in hand. The score was, yes, better, but I don't know. Like, I didn't have as many birdies. I think I had one birdie, which was still, actually, no, that would have been as many birdies as I had last time. Shot a 42 on the front, which was better than last time, just limited the blow-up holes. 45 on the back. The last 3 holes are kind of, I don't know, I don't want to say fell apart, but just kind of lost some of the, I don't know exactly what I'm trying to say here, but I lost what I had going. Yeah, I lost some of my mojo on the last 3. Walking up to the tee on 16, I was actually on pace. If I would have parred the last 3, I would have finished with an 80. So that shows you how bad I played the last 3 holes. And yeah, I mean, it was a great weekend. I played fantastic. I'm glad that I'm finally putting my golf game together. It is so satisfying to be able to play an entire round and not be like, oh, I really fucked up here. And if I would have done this, I could have done so much better. It's great. It's really fucking awesome. So my weekend was awesome. How was yours?
I had a pretty good weekend. We did a guys' weekend. We went down to my parents' cottage, me, my dad, and 2 of our buddies. We got there on Friday. I went and said hi to my grandma real quick because she's there as well. So, and then we just played cards. We kind of fucked up. We didn't have a fire, and the weather was okay, but I was really excited to play some euchre because none of my friends know how to around here. So I learned it a couple weeks ago, and I was like, all right, let's just play some euchre. We played all night Friday. Woke up Saturday. We had a tee time at 10, so we went and golfed. We ended up doing a scramble. We did me and my dad versus our buddies. Our buddies are a lot better than us, and we should have done some sort of handicap system, but my golf game is just trash right now. I'm not golfing enough to be good. That was the first time I golfed in a month, so I got to hit the range, man. Got to put the work in. Got to golf more. But my buddies did get me with the exploding golf ball. Frankie, you saw that video.
I did.
Hilarious video. I've never seen one hit in person, and hitting one was hilarious, but also sucked to be the guy, blowing it up. But it was kind of funny because my buddy, he was setting it up all day. He was giving me little tips. I think we were on hole 13 when he got me finally, but he was giving me little tips here and there. And then I was hitting my driver well. So he was like, well, I'm not going to be able to get him without him hitting a bad drive. So he was just waiting. And I think I had probably 4 good drives in a row. And then finally we got to this tee box. And the more I hit a driver well, the harder I swing. And eventually it's going to go bad, obviously. So I put one out of play. And my buddy jumps in. He's like, here, try this. And he's a good golfer, so I'm going to listen to him. So I was like, okay. He tees it up for me with the tee. I'm like, oh, thanks, man. Sweet. And he's like, hey, I'm just going to tee it up a little higher. He's like, just swing easy, man. It's going to fly. I'm like, okay. And it's funny, too, because I stand over it longer. I'm, like, nervous because I know everybody's watching me. And I go back and I swing through, and bam, this thing blows up, dust everywhere. And then we looked at my driver after, and I hit it dead nuts. Like, this thing would have gone 300 down the middle. So that was unfortunate. And then so after the round, it was fun. You know, I had some drinks out there.
So what did you do after? So once you hit that, then what was your next drive like?
After the explosion?
Yeah.
They were bad the rest of the day.
Oh.
I think part of it was the explosion. Part of it was just my game deteriorating and me drinking more. But on the way home, my dad was like, hey, let's grab some wood, you know. We can have these guys help us unload it quick. It'll be good. So we grabbed this. There's a guy near the campground there that sells wood. So we went and picked it up, brought it back. We're loading it up into the shed. My dad's got a little overhang, and the wood can sit right in there on the side of the shed. And we're unloading it, and I feel something crawl on my arm. And I'm like, oh, there must be literally thinking in my head, there must be a bug. Let me swat it off. I look down, it's a bee. We found out later it was ground bees. Do you know about ground bees?
Kind of. What are they?
They're smaller, and they, I don't know how to describe them.
Kind of like when you're golfing and you see like sand wasps?
No, not those. Okay. But they kind of just look like, honestly, like the stereotypical bee, about the size of a jelly bean, real skinny. But I swatted it off my wrist, and it landed on my knee, and I watched this thing sting me. And I was like, shit. So I swatted off. And then another one almost simultaneously hit my ankle. So I kind of run away, obviously, because I'm getting stung. And it hurt, dude. Like, I've been stung by a bee before a couple times. And they don't really hurt, but these were, like, burning. I was like, oh, my God. So long story short, my dad got stung and one of our buddies got stung. There was a nest somewhere near that wood pile that we disrupted, obviously, by throwing our wood in there. And we think it was in the mulch right next to it. So it was just funny. Everybody running away yelling because we're getting stung and it hurts and they're burning. And it sucks now because it's really itchy. And so I got to itch my knee 24/7. And my ankle's not too bad, but my knee, man. Whoo. And we ended up my dad threw it all in real quick. And it rained the whole rest of the day. So we just played cards all night, drinking. Woke up Sunday, came home, didn't really do much. But yeah, I woke up Saturday before golf with just like that sore throat when you can't really swallow. It just hurts and it feels like it's closing. So hopefully that goes away because, as you guys know, I'm going to Nashville this week. We leave on Thursday. So I need to feel better. I've been taking my medicine, getting some rest. I've got the day off tomorrow to kind of pack and get ready. Got to go shopping, get some fits. But, yeah, pretty good weekend. Fun little boys weekend. Just wish I golfed better.
I will say
the bee story, man, I couldn't wait to tell that because I wish I had a video of everybody getting stung because I'm sure it was hilarious. I know that I probably looked fruity just going, oh, my God, because it hurt.
So I didn't tell you this, but there was 2 shots that I had this weekend golfing that were just like I like kind of amazed myself. So the first, I'll go in order of worst to best. The first one, it was like hole 12, I think, and had a bad drive off to the left. It was a dogleg right, par 5. Drive off to the left, up in the trees. Not great. So second shot, I'm like, I don't know where I'm going to hit this. I can either take my 4-iron. I have this tiny window I can try to hit through. But if I hit it through the window, I'm like hitting straight at 3 greenside bunkers, if I can even get it that far. Or I can just literally tap it out into the fairway and then play from there. So me being me, I decided, you know what, I'm going to go for the window with my 4-iron, which A, I can't hit my 4-iron straight to save my life. B, this window is probably about as wide as me, so not very big. I put it in the farthest away greenside bunker, closest to the green. and then had a perfect chip up to about 5 feet from the sand and tapped in for par on this hole. So that was my first shot. Probably hit the four iron about 180, 190. It was absolutely smoked. Second shot, have my hybrid on like hole, I think it's hole 6. This green is like a peninsula green. It's surrounded by a pond. I'm probably, I think I was about 205 out. Grabbed my hybrid, striped it straight at the pin, and I saw it land on the green. I was like, damn, like nice shot. And I like started walking away, and all of a sudden Paige goes, dude, that just rolled in. And I was like, no way. And she's like, yeah, like I can't see it. And I like looked, and I was like, I don't see the fucking ball. So we drive up there. It didn't roll in. It was about 3 feet away. But 205 yards out, put it to 3 feet with my hybrid. Absolutely striped. Just could not believe it. It was fantastic.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with my golf game. I think I'm trying to do too much. I'm trying to get better too fast. I need to focus on like one thing at a time. Like I go to the range and I'm like, okay, I'm going to work on my irons. I work on my irons, they get really good. The next time I go, I'm like, all right, I'm going to hit driver. Work on the driver, it works really well. But then I don't go out on an actual course for like a month, and then obviously it all goes away because then I just go back to what I was doing. Right now the feedback that I got is that my takeaway is way too high, so that my elbow becomes untucked, and then when I come back through, it's going to do all sorts of things. So I don't know. I just need to go to the range. There's one right by my house too. I need to get a range membership next year maybe, and just try to go twice a week.
I'm really afraid of when I don't shoot a good round. Like say when I shoot my average mid to high 90s again, how I'm gonna feel, because I'm like, now that I've shot 2 rounds sub 90, it's like, holy shit, like this is real,
right?
Like it wasn't just a fluke, and now all of a sudden like I'm gonna go back and like next time out I'm probably gonna shoot like a 98 and I'm gonna be like, fuck.
Yeah,
so I'm a little bit afraid of that
because I believed it immediately once I saw the picture of you and Paige. I was like,
yeah, and like this one too, like I didn't use mulligans on this one. Because you said last time, you're like, I don't use my mulligans.
So now your career high is an 87, correct? Career low, I guess.
Yes, career low.
And it's believable. I looked at your birdies. It was a good round. You had no triples, and you only
I did have one triple on the back. Oh yeah, it was a par 5.
Yep.
Yeah, I tried to get fancy with it. I had a bad drive and I dropped for 3, and then I had a fluffed iron, and then the lie I had, I thought I could do a flop shot, and then it was a bad shot, and then I 3-putted. Yeah, it was bad.
Yep. All right, let's get into this. Enough about our golf games. Locks and long shots. So my lock last week, I had the under in the Hall of Fame game. That did not hit. I believe they had, 37 total, Frankie? And it was under 33.5?
I am pulling it up right now.
I know it was close, and somebody scored. The Browns scored late, but they
won. 37.
Later. Yep. So that was a loss. That takes me to 36 and 28 on the locks. Still not, like, for the whole show to be batting, I got 8 more wins than losses. That's okay. But this week, preseason football is in full swing now, and I don't even really give a shit about baseball anymore. So we're gonna bet some preseason and see what happens. Everybody knows the Ravens haven't lost a preseason game since 2015. I believe they're at 23 in a row.
Yep.
Their money line is way too juiced. I believe it's minus 245. So we're gonna ride with the Ravens minus 6. Betting spreads in preseason is stupid, but I don't care. They're gonna win. I just hope it's by 7. So that's at minus 110 against the Eagles. There, we're gonna ride with that. Long shots I hit last week. The Browns did win against the Jets. That just went over, but 22 and 39 and 1 on the long shots, which isn't too bad, but I'm pretty sure the ones I've hit haven't been that big. This week, no research on these, by the way. I do not recommend anybody bets these, but Lions money line versus the Giants. I'm very excited to watch this game. I think the Lions have pretty good core. There's a chance that either Teddy Bridgewater starts or Nate Sudfeld, and both of those quarterbacks have NFL experience. So I'm going to go ahead and take Lions money line. The Giants are going to be starting some nobody out of, like, Eastern Michigan, so let's ride them. Let's go.
I was going to say, I saw that the Lions signed Teddy Two Gloves. Was that today or yesterday?
That was last night.
Yeah, I'm kind of interested.
I'll talk about it later, but
okay.
I got a couple things about that.
Okay. So I had another tough week on locks. This says a lot about my gambling recently because I actually just had to reload the accounts this morning. I had a horrible day yesterday. Last week I had Erod to be moved at the trade deadline, trying to get that one live on air. That did not hit. And then we had the under in the Hall of Fame game as well, so that did not hit. I am now 500, 16, 16, and 1. I still have the Titans over 7.5 wins open, but this week, like Jake said, we're riding the Ravens. Money line's juiced, so we got to take the spread. I do have a stat to back this up, though. The Ravens play their starters as little as most other teams during the preseason, but the difference is every single player that puts on a uniform is coached up to the point where they can contribute. 10 of their past 12 preseason wins have been by at least 7 points, with 9 of those victories coming by double digits. So,
nice.
I like the 6. I might actually put real money on it this week. I don't know. We'll see. Long shots. Record's relevant. We had a bad week. Gary Sanchez did not homer. And the fun fact about this, I have a lot of fun facts, I guess, today. I saw a tweet, I believe I think it was last Wednesday. Might have been. I don't remember exactly. But Gary Sanchez has 15 home runs this year, and he hasn't played like even a half of the year. That would be the most home runs by a starting catcher in that few. I don't remember exactly how it was, but it was basically just a stat to rub in that I was wrong about my Gary Sanchez Dinger Tuesday pick, so that one hurt. This week, we still have a lot of open ones, by the way. This week, we're adding the Packers and the Ravens money line parlay. The Packers opened as like 3.5-point underdogs, and now they're 6-point favorites. So I don't know why the shift, but I'm just going to ride with it and hope that it's good. And look, we talked about the Ravens already, so I'm not going to even mention that. So we need a win badly.
Yeah, you do. Did you mention the record there?
Yep.
The full record.
I mentioned both of them.
Did you?
Yep.
8-35, 14-52, and 4 all time. So yeah, you need a win.
I don't think you had to do that. I mean, I said it,
right.
But
let's get to the news. Frankie's gonna read it this week. What do we got?
Yeah. So over the weekend, the White Sox and the Guardians had a little scuffle. It was arguably the best we have ever seen in baseball. Jose Rameriez slid into second and didn't appreciate that Tim Anderson tagged him multiple times, and then Tim Anderson squared up and got his shit rocked. Ramirez hit him with a clean right and literally knocked Anderson into concussion protocol. All-time call from the announcers as we got a "Down goes Anderson." Feels like I was watching Muhammad Ali in his prime. Then it came out that Yasmani Grandal slapped Anderson just before the All-Star break while Anderson was in a cold tub. Anderson did not retaliate, and that's a bitch move, honestly. But I get it. Shrinkage is a big deal. I don't know for sure. Just ask my girlfriend. Oh, I would know for sure. Just ask my girlfriend.
Yeah, so good segue into our MLB here. Obviously, I thought it was the greatest baseball fight of all time, and that is just because an actual punch was thrown. Normally, it's just like a lot of hugging, and the only real good fights you see is out of like Dominican Republic and Cuba. But yeah, so Ramirez slid into second. Anderson tagged him, kind of stood over him, and then Anderson's kind of looking down on him, and I guess he tagged him again, is what Ramirez said. And then they were jawing back and forth, and then out of nowhere, Anderson's throwing up his hands, ready to go, and he comes in. He threw the first punch too. I think he got 2 or 3 in, but nothing really crazy, maybe a couple body shots. And then Ramirez it was a blind punch, but bam, Connected right
Oh
on
yeah,
his jaw.
head was down, fists were flying from Ramirez.
Oh yeah. And Anderson fell on his ass. I love to. Did you see the umpire there at second base?
Yeah,
He
that's
ended up being
what
a
I
boxing ref.
That's what I was gonna say. He was trying to hold them apart, and then all of a sudden he realized they were gonna fight, and he just dropped his hands and backed up. It was like, all right. It was like when you're like,
ring the bell.
Yeah, it was like when the ref steps in, he's like, give him a second, and then he steps out and he's like, all right, let's go.
Yeah, he was like, all right, touch gloves. All right, get him, gentlemen.
Yep.
Oh, it was insane, man. And then I don't know if it was the main call or maybe like the radio call.
Yeah, it was a radio call.
This dude's like, oh, and Ramirez and Anderson are drawn, and Anderson's putting his gloves up. And down goes Anderson. It was so amazing.
It was,
and then,
it was a perfect boxing call.
Anderson got pulled away. Ramirez cooled off a little bit. Why did Class A get a suspension? Did he do anything? I didn't see him do anything.
I honestly don't know. I just watched the videos that were on Twitter. I didn't really pay attention to what Class A did, but he got the worst of the suspensions, didn't he?
No, Anderson got 6 games, Ramirez got 3, and Clase got 1, and I think both the managers got a game. But, yeah, Anderson...
I have a couple jokes about this.
All right, you go ahead.
So, apparently... So, Tim Anderson got suspended 6 games. The White Sox are appealing the suspension to make it last the rest of the season.
Wait, say that again. I didn't get it.
So the White Sox are appealing the suspension, asking for it to be the entire season for Tim Anderson because he's been so bad. Another joke, Tim Anderson is officially the first player to join the 1-1 club, 1 home run and one fight.
Are these custom or did you see these somewhere?
No, I saw some of these.
All right.
The best part about the entire thing, honestly, was that Eloy Jimenez got injured in the fight. I don't know if you saw that.
I did not see that.
Everybody was walking away, and Eloy was like hobbling and like barely walking because he hurt his leg or his foot or something, which is so Eloy Jimenez. So glad the Brewers did not get him.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was, I would say, top 2 fight, not my number 1. I don't know if anything will ever beat Jose Bautista and Rougned Odor because...
Yeah, but...
No, dude, there's never been a harder punch thrown than that. I mean...
Yeah, but Anderson got knocked on his ass.
Yeah, but Jose Bautista took an entire fist to the face and like his... I guess just the picture of that.
Yeah, I guess that's the only one that could top it.
There's a Niger Morgan one that's pretty good, but that one's not really remembered.
Ventura was good too. Nolan Ryan just wailing on him.
Yep. But yeah, I mean, good fight.
Great fight. Loved
it. I love how the Guardians social media teams have been kind of playing off of it the last couple days. Every single one of their tweets, it's a picture of Jose Ramirez and like some funny caption to kind of relate to it. And then, I don't know, did you see Terry Francona's post-game interview?
No, I didn't. I saw people were talking about it, but I didn't hear anything about it.
So they asked him, they were like, one of the announcers was like, what did you think of Ramirez left hook? And he goes, right hook. And they're like, oh yeah, right hook. And he kind of laughs. And he's just kind of laughing. He's like, well, you know, boys will be boys. And that was all he said. And it was hilarious. But
did you see the reporter that said, she was like, I've been in 2 clubhouses this morning and I've heard at least 20 times down goes Anderson.
Oh my God. That's going to be such a legendary call. I think it was
like the Yankees and Giants. Like it was just other teams that have nothing to do with it are loving it.
Well, and then I'm
sure everybody does, but
there was a video that came out too of Lucas Giolito. Right after it happened, he was in the Angels bullpen. It wasn't his day to pitch, and they must have like just seen the video. And Lucas Giolito was like acting out the punches to like some of the guys there, and I was like, dude, he was a former teammate, so that was kind of funny too.
Yeah, my thing about the Grandal thing, I forgot to mention. So it came out that Grandal wanted to leave a day early, and before the All-Star break, and Anderson was like, "Fuck him, we don't need him." And then so apparently he walked over while Anderson was in the cold tub and slapped him. And Anderson didn't do anything, but then Grandal said that didn't happen or whatever. Do you have any update on that? Did that actually happen or what?
I don't know. I saw the same thing you saw, just that it wasn't actually true. I wouldn't be surprised if it did. Personally, I fucking hate Tim Anderson. Never really been a big fan of him. I just think his ego's way too big, and he doesn't really do anything special. So
my other favorite part of all this was people going back, finding his tweets from like 2014, like off to sleep or
yeah,
can't sleep, need something to knock me out, and everybody's retweeting them, and then he started deleting them. And then he pulled an Antonio Brown. He tweeted, like, I saw a stat, it was like 18 times within 7 minutes.
It was, yeah, he went on a run.
And it's just, love it. This gets me so excited for football. It's exactly what we needed in the beginning of August to get us over the edge here from baseball. We need a fight in baseball.
It's the dog days.
Every first week of August, and that'll get us through.
Get the dog days pumped up again.
Other baseball news, the NL Central is the only thing really worth watching at this point. NL West, the Dodgers have a 4-game lead. NL East, the Braves have a 10-game lead. Obviously, the wild cards are close as well. But the NL Central, they've been what's the term I'm looking for? Flip-frogging? Is that a term?
Flip-flopping?
Leapfrogging. I don't know. Last week, the Reds had a 1.5-game lead, and then they lost a couple games in a row to the Cubs, who are very hot right now. The Cubs have won. They actually lost last night, but they're on like a 3-game win streak. They're 6-4 in the last 10.
6-4, yep.
But the Reds are 3-7 in their last 10. The Brewers are 4-6 in their last 10. But the Brewers have a 1.5-game lead. So it'll be interesting to see how that division shakes up. Obviously, none of those teams will get a wild card spot. I guess maybe right now the Phillies have it at 61-51. But the NL Central is just a mess right now because the two teams we thought for sure were going to win it don't look good, and the Cubs out of nowhere look pretty okay.
Well, I wouldn't say that the Brewers look bad. I also put on here that they can only win at home. That's not true. I went back and looked at their schedule. They've literally gone. So they got swept by the Braves. They came back against the Nationals, and the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, last 8 games they've gone loss, win, loss, win, loss, win, loss, win. So it's not that we can't win on the road. We just can't win back-to-back games right now, which is a little worrisome. But our offense has been horrible. The new additions, Mark Canha and Carlos Santana, have gone 10 for 29 to start their Brewers career, so not that great. I guess Santana's been an upgrade to what we had at first base. Canha, I guess, was basically free, so I don't really care about that. But Woodruff is back. He looked great the other day. He came out and went 5 innings. First game back, only 5 innings, but 4 hits, 2 earned, and 9 strikeouts against Pittsburgh. Luckily, we did not win that game because we could not get any offense going, surprisingly. And then Freddie Peralta last night was absolutely fantastic. He struck out 13 batters against the Rockies. Mind you, it was the Rockies. But he went 7 innings, 1 hit, 1 earned, 13 Ks, no walks. And the Brewers were 1 pitch away from a perfect game yesterday.
Really? I didn't see that.
If Peralta did not give up the home run in the first inning, it would have been a perfect game. Because that was the only hit that the Rockies got yesterday.
No shit. Okay. Interesting. I love how that always gets swept on the rug. Also, Framber Valdez threw a no-hitter last week. And
that was the big news we forgot. Yep.
Yeah, that was what it was. Before the show, I'm sitting here talking to Franke. I'm like, what am I missing in MLB? He's like, I don't think anything. But yeah, Framber Valdez, I think he threw that, what was that, Wednesday?
I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday night. I'm pulling it up right now as we speak. It was also, he did it on, it was like 92 pitches. So it was against the Guardians on, okay, this doesn't say what day it is. 93 pitches. August 2nd. So it would have been last Wednesday. Good call.
Yep.
Yeah, and so the fun thing is, Framber had been horrible in July. His ERA in July alone was 7.29. And then he came out and throws a no-hitter against the Guardians. So kind of just crazy how baseball works in that kind of way. He was also one batter away from a perfect game. He had a walk, but it was, I mean, I didn't watch any of it, but would have been a great pitching matchup. Gavin Williams for the Guardians, who's a young rookie. He went 5 innings, only 2 earned, 6 Ks, and then Valdez threw the no-hitter. So
no
it was a good
hitters
game.
now don't get any love anymore, really, do they? There's so many.
I wouldn't say that there's so many, but
I mean, we've already had 3 this year.
We go on runs.
Framber.
Yeah, combines don't really count, but
Combined, yeah. I mean, unless when it's the Tigers who are bad and throw a no-hitter. I don't even think we talked about that on the show, did we?
I mean, the Brewers threw a combined no-hitter last year and nobody cared.
Yeah, exactly. That's nobody cares about combines. Any other MLB before we talk about some exciting college football?
No, I'm a little worried about the Cubs.
Yeah, they look good, man. Did they buy anything at the deadline? What did they get?
Yeah, they went and got Candelario.
Oh, that's right. He's been good. What did he? He was 8 for 9 in his first 3 games or something like that. First 2 games.
Yeah, he's been
hot.
kind of good. I don't really like it. Plus Bellinger's been really fucking good.
Yep.
Deacon Horner's good.
Amazing in July. Yeah, and they got Swanson.
This is good.
I saw they were plus 800 last week. I keep looking at the NL Central stuff just in case I want to hop back in, but I've kind of just accepted that I took my money and ran at the right time. Now I don't have to imagine how much I'd be sweating right now with how bad the Reds look. Even though they did
yeah, I think my.
Well, that's on the combined one with all those other ones, right?
Yeah, the division winners parlay.
Gotcha. Yeah, so I think honestly going forward, our only MLB talk will be major stuff like a knockout punch and then just NL Central probably, because everything else seems to be pretty much settled in my opinion, but I could be wrong. You know, the Angels could get hot. Just kidding. The Angels are trash. Should have sold Ohtani. All right, NCAA. Oregon and Washington announced last week they're joining the Big Ten. What were the other teams going to the Big 12, Frankie? I forgot to write that down.
Oh,
and
whoa! I just went to open a new tab and it opened 4.
I know that the only teams still there. Did Oregon State go to the Big 12?
No.
They're still there.
Pac-12
Stanford's still there, and so is Cal.
Big 12.
Washington State is still there as well.
California, Stanford are interested in the ACC.
Basically, the Pac-12 is falling apart because of their new TV deal. They went to, what was it, Apple TV. Basically, just nobody's going to be watching these games because nobody's paying for Apple TV to just watch some Pac-12. And
Arizona State, and Utah, along with Colorado.
With Oregon and Washington joining the Big Ten, it's going to be interesting to see how the conference realigns because you can't just throw them all in the West because you already got USC and UCLA coming. So I don't know what they're going to do in terms of maybe going to...
No, it's fine. We can keep them in the West. Keep all those teams in the West, and we'll just move the worst teams of the West over to the East.
Worst teams of the West to the East.
Yep.
So I feel like you're saying this wrong. So you want Wisconsin to have to play USC and Washington and Oregon?
Oh, wait. Yeah, no. That's not what I meant.
I think what you want is... I think what they're going to end up doing is setting it up to where Michigan, Ohio State, and Penn State have a good chance to make the Big Ten championship every year, and then everybody else can just kind of get fucked. But I don't know what they're going to do because you can't do geographic because then you'd have to – say you kept those 4 teams in the West, right? Now you got to move – what is it, 2 teams?
Well, they already said that they're going to get rid of the West and the East. Like, they're getting rid of divisions. I just don't know how.
Well, and it's like, are they going to keep it geographic, though? Because you can't really. It's hard to.
Yeah.
But this is all with all these teams leaving the Pac-12 and the Pac-12 basically meaning nothing after this year, because I think they all are still playing Pac-12 this year. It's just leading to a 2-conference system, and then each of those conferences has different divisions, like the NFL. And then those divisions are just the former conferences. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
You're gonna have an East and a West type of deal, and then you're gonna have SEC and Big Ten. I saw one model I kind of liked, and it was
I think I might have seen this as well.
it was a 12-team playoff, and
Nope, I did not see this.
it had the top 3 teams in the Big Ten get a seed. The top 3 teams in the SEC, the top 3 teams in the Big 12, and then 3 of the rest were in the playoff. Did that make sense? So I kind of liked that. However, you can't guarantee 3 spots to each conference, because what if the Big Ten beats up on each other? Now a team with 4 losses gets in.
Yeah.
I don't love these teams leaving, because now those conference rivalries eventually are going to become void.
Really?
What?
Now you don't like it.
What do you mean?
I was going to
liked
be
when
the
it was-
old guy here and say that I think this is fucking stupid.
No,
And
I'm there with you now. When it was just USC and UCLA, I was like, oh, cool, couple late games. But now that like all these teams are leaving and the Pac-12's void, all these rivalries are going to be gone.
that's the thing. Like, we're so used to seeing like Stanford versus Oregon and Stanford versus Washington. Like, those were big, big Pac-12 rivalries, and now we're not going to get shit like that. And I don't know, it's cool. Yeah, like, it's cool to see your teams get to play those teams every year, but also at the same time, like, now you're just diluting football basically, and
You're destroying
like
tradition.
yeah, you're getting
That's
rid
what it
of the smaller teams' big games. Like, I mean, Stanford a couple years ago was great. They were front runners of NCAA football, but they're not anymore. Same thing with, Oregon. So when you got those games, it was great. And now, like, every year when you get that, it's kind of like, oh, like, that's a fun game to watch, even though they're not as good. Now you're not going to get that anymore. Nobody's going to watch Stanford. Nobody's going to watch Oregon. Well, some people might watch Oregon State. Washington State, Cal. Nobody's going to watch them. Like,
The NCAA needs to do an overhaul and say, look, if you guys really are like destroying the Pac-12, we got to do something. Because you used to have your Power 5, ACC, Pac-12, Big 12, SEC, Big 10. Now, you can't have Power 4, and then the Pac-12's just
well, and also, like,
stragglers. You
that's
need
the
to
thing, too. Like, you have the Big 12, which is like 16 teams, and the Big 10, which is like 18 teams now. And it's like,
Right.
now we also, like, it's not the biggest deal, but got to change the names here. And, like, I think back to when I was in high school, we were in the Little 10 conference, and then I left and they did a whole conference remerger, and then it was like the Badger North and the Badger South, and like, I don't know, it's just not the same. Like, they're going to change the Big 10 and the Big 12 eventually, and it's not going to be as cool. Like, I don't know. It's always going to be the Big 10. It's always going to be the Big 12. It's always going to be SEC, regardless.
Yeah,
it sucks.
They're trying too much to be like the NFL, and it's all money driven, which I get. And like, these teams are leaving because the Pac-12 did a bad TV deal. But you're trying too hard to be like the NFL, and there's a reason people love college football, and it's the tradition and the Saturdays and going to the tailgates and shit like that. Like, just the tradition. And like, there's a lot of people too that would travel to all their team's games. You know what I mean? Like, I know a couple Michigan fans that go to every single game outside of like the out-of-conference ones, or like if they make the championship or bowl games, whatever. But now they can't go to every game. They're not driving to Oregon. They're not going to drive to California.
Well, yeah, and that's what I was going to
There
say
goes that
too. Is like,
tradition.
you think of anybody, like any players who have family that come to watch all their games, good luck. Because, like you just said, like, say you got a big player at Michigan, their entire family goes to watch their games. They're not going to drive out to USC and UCLA and Oregon and Washington, and like that's just not going to happen.
College football is good because it's different from the NFL. They have different rules. The overtime is better, but then it's all tradition. And I know a lot of people that say, man, I can't watch NFL, but I watch college football all day. And now you're killing it. And it's going to end up being just fine, because these games are going to draw big crowds. They're going to get a lot of money, and they're going to realign some crazy way. I can't wait to talk about it when it's finalized. But as of right now, there is no Pac-12.
We're not going to get a finalization for probably another couple of years, but
yeah, it's going to be weird. That's the other thing, is like, is Oregon and Washington coming to the Big Ten next year with USC and UCLA, or do they have to wait till 2025?
I don't know. They should just
It's crazy.
to get rid of this whole TV deal bullshit. They should just make NCAA network. Like they have NFL network, they have MLB network, they have NHL network. Give me a college football network. Give me a Saturday ticket package, and I'll be good.
Yeah,
we don't have to worry about any of this.
I
just solved the NCAA's problems in 30 seconds.
Call us up, NCAA. We got ideas. All right, let's move on here to the NFL. The Hall of Fame game. Not going to talk about it too much. The only funny thing is that in the third quarter, the lights went out. Did you see that, Frankie?
I didn't watch it, but I heard about it. Yeah.
So the lights just completely stopped working. It was pitch black. Delayed the game. And then I was like, oh, man, if the game ends, my lock's going to hit because they'll call it a final score. It's preseason.
Yep.
But they ended up fixing it. The Browns scored late, and I see that you put on here you had some money on the Jets.
Yeah, I threw out a small bet, just a one-unit bet, but I was on the Jets because I knew Zach Wilson was going to be starting, and I figured, you know what, that's at least enough to get out to an early lead. They did get out to an early lead at half. They were up 16-7, which I was like, all right, should be fine. It was not fine. Browns then went on to score 14. Outscored the Jets 14-0 in the second half, and that was the end of it.
Yep.
Zach Wilson also only threw 5 passes, so probably shouldn't have expected much.
He only completed 5.
No, he went 3 for 5.
I thought he went 5 for 7.
I'm looking at the box score right now.
Never mind. I take it back. Our other NFL news is that the Lions last night signed Teddy Bridgewater to be the backup this year. I kind of like the move. I'm sure he was kind of cheap, and he's a great backup.
Forgetting
if
about
something
Hendon
did
Hooker
happen
now,
to Goff. Huh?
I'm just forgetting about Hendon Hooker.
I completely remembered him, and I hope he heals up and he's our future quarterback. I'd love that, but I think that his healing was taking longer than expected, and going out and getting Teddy was not a bad idea because now you've got Jared Goff and Teddy who can help Hendon Hooker grow as a quarterback, and maybe because I truly think he might be the quarterback of the future. The other thing is that Goff is 28, and he's on the last year of his deal this year. So if he has a good year, they might re-sign him and keep him. He's young. It's just he gets the job done. He's kind of like Kirk Cousins, but he can play on primetime.
Hear me out. It's the last year of his deal. The Lions should trade him and just go into a rebuild again.
No, the other point I wanted to make is that we have a super complete roster right now. Our weakest position was quarterback because all we had was Goff and Hooker was hurt. But now you got a nice backup there. We got 2 running backs. One has to prove himself, but Montgomery's a great running back. Our line is really good. Our receivers, honestly, receivers probably our weakest position behind Amon-Ra.
I wish you could see my face when you said Montgomery is a good running back.
He is a good running back.
I gave like the eyebrows, like
stink face.
The fuck? Yeah.
Oh, no, he is. And then our defense is going to be the biggest issue. That's the thing. It's going to be watch the defense, but we made some moves. I'm super, super excited for the Lions this year. I think we could make some noise. We should do a full-on predictions for our team that we write down and keep on the dock for the rest of the year to keep.
Well, yeah, we'll have to do our NFL previews soon.
Yep.
In a couple weeks. I mean, we gotta let preseason get going,
we'll do a preview, but then we'll also do a formal prediction, like win-loss for our teams, and then
we did that last year.
Playoffs, whatever, and we'll keep track of that. Because last year we did that, but we didn't write it down, so I have no idea what I said. I'm sure I went above and beyond, said we're gonna make the playoffs, but
yeah, I'm a little sad that I have to hate Teddy Bridgewater now.
You don't have to. I don't know why you have to hate on the Lions. You can hate on them. I think you only have to hate on them 2 weeks out of the year.
No,
when they're playing the Packers.
No.
I'm just saying.
I just don't want to.
But yeah, the other thing I wanted to say is that nobody else is going to know about this, but I follow a bunch of Lions beat reporters on Twitter, and all day they were tweeting like, "Oh, if only you guys knew the news coming tonight. This is exciting." Blah blah blah. I started thinking like, okay, Jameson Williams' suspension is getting, bumped down, or people were saying Chris Jones trade, or then somebody said a Aaron Donald trade, and then we signed Teddy Bridgewater as a backup quarterback, and I'm like, is this what we were hyping up all day? Like, it's a big deal on Lions Twitter right now. Like, why the fuck were these beat reporters going crazy? So that'll be interesting to see if there was something bigger maybe that didn't end up working out. Because I saw the Chiefs.
That'd be like if the Packers brought back Matt Flynn or something. Like everyone's hyping him up for us to bring back like Matt Flynn. Like that'd be similar.
Yeah, I just don't. I don't think they were hyping up Teddy Bridgewater. I think there was something else maybe, but I mean it's Teddy Bridgewater. He's a backup quarterback. It's like we signed Nate Sudfeld, which we did earlier in the year. Nobody hyped that up. So, but yeah, we'll do a preview. We'll do some formal predictions. We'll keep track of it though. You ready for some grid action, Frankie?
I am. Ooh,
Right,
this looks fun.
Do it. All right.
Ooh.
Okay, so I've been doing a lot of these, and I have some tips. I don't know if you've ran into this as well, but
Wait, first we have to give off what we have here.
Oh, yep, sorry. Across the top, we've got Houston Texans. That'll be tough. Arizona Cardinals, and a 1,000-yard rushing season. Then going down is Kansas City Chiefs, Jacksonville Jaguars, and Colts. So I've got one off. So here's what I was going to say is that when you've got the stat column, you kind of want to go through and do your players first to see if they would correlate with like 1,000-yard rushers, you know what I mean? Because it's easier to get 1,000-yard rushers than it is to get players for two teams. Am I making sense at all?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
So I'm going to run through and see if anything. So first of all,
Well,
I've got one for Jags and Cardinals.
what was your first thought?
Christian Kirk.
Jags, Cardinals, Christian Kirk. Yeah, that's good.
Yep. Okay. Let's lock that in. Bang. 54% there. Jags and Texans, I don't have anything. Oh, so here's an example. Here's an example of what I was trying to relate there. Cardinals, Colts. Edgerrin James works. He's a running back. He had 1,000 yards rushing too, but we don't want to use him there because he played for the Cardinals, and I know nobody else right there. So we're going to put Edgerrin James for Colts and Cardinals.
Who?
EDGERRIN.
Yep,
I don't know how to say it. I think it's Edgerrin, or it's Edgerrin. And then now, for a 1,000-yard rusher, we can do Jonathan Taylor because obviously he hasn't played for another team. Is he an AN? Jonathan Taylor? Yeah.
Yeah.
Boom. So then Colts and Texans. Oh, I've got a good one there. Colts and Texans. You ready?
Okay.
This might be a rare one. Andre Johnson. He only played
That's
one
not
season
gonna
with
be.
the Colts. 58%. He only did one
I
season
was going to
with
say,
the
that
Colts.
is not going to be low. It's Andre Johnson.
Jags 1,000 yards. Do you want to go Maurice Jones-Drew?
Yeah, sure. You're
What about Chiefs 1,000 yards? Edwards-Helaire did.
Charles.
Jamal Charles. Yeah.
Yep.
He definitely did. He had 2,000, I think, in a season. Oh, almost put Jamal Williams.
Jamal Charles.
All right, Chiefs and Cardinals. Okay, here I got
Chiefs
something
Texans
here.
is a wide receiver.
Well, here's what I was going to say. Chiefs Texans, you could put Honey Badger, but you could also put Honey Badger for Chiefs and Cardinals. So which one do we not know?
I think he's.
I feel like either works. If we had somebody else for one of those, we could put him in the other one, obviously. This is like the fastest we've gone.
Yeah, we're cooking on this one.
Yeah, we are.
Well, let's try to figure out. Let's try to figure out Texans Jags.
Texans Jags. Isn't there a cornerback or a safety?
Hold up. I feel like I bring this up every week, but did David Johnson play for the Jags at all?
No, David Johnson did not.
I feel like there's a running back there though. Mike Davis? No.
Who was the running back for the Jags last time? And we were like, oh, I think it was like
Jermichael
Jags
Hasty.
49ers. Huh?
Jermichael Hasty?
No. Carlos Hyde. He played for the Jags. Didn't he play for the Texans?
Yep.
He played for the Texans?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Let's go. Bang. Let's go. Okay. We're at 7 out of 9. This is our best ever so far?
It's got to be pretty close.
Oh, well, we have 8 out of 9. We just got to figure out which one to put him in.
Yeah.
All right, so we got Chiefs and Texans. That's Tyrann Mathieu. No, there's Chiefs and Texans. There's a cornerback. What is his name? Oh, what is his name? What is his name? What is his name? Oh, this is going to drive me nuts. Chiefs' defense is so hard because, like, their defense is always, like, bad.
So do you want to put Tyrann for Cardinals Chiefs?
Well, I want to put Tyrann Mathieu on the one that's easiest. Or the one that's hardest, I mean. You know what I'm saying?
Wait.
I feel like we should put
Chris
Mathieu on
Jones.
Chiefs and Texans.
Wasn't Chris Jones on the Cardinals?
No, he's only played for
No,
the
there's
Chiefs.
there's like a defensive end or a D lineman that was Cardinals Chiefs. Oh, I swear.
Defensive. Did you say end or tackle?
I don't know, defensive lineman.
Well, it's not Chris Jones. I know that he's only played with the Chiefs because they drafted him. Oh, defense. I feel like we got to put Mathieu on Texans Chiefs because I can't think of anybody else.
Okay.
What's the name of? Do you remember the Chiefs had that backup running back? He played with Clyde, and he was pretty good for like a year.
McKinnon?
No, not McKinnon. I want to say his last name was Williams. Do you know him?
Oh.
Didn't he go to the Cardinals and got hurt last year?
I don't know.
Darrell Williams. Is that right? Darrell Williams?
I don't
You
know
gotta
if
see if
he's
that's
ever on
even
the
a person.
Cardinals. Yeah,
Darrell
it is.
Williams. It is. Oh, wait. How does he spell his name? Because this one says till 2017, but he just played a little bit ago. Oh, it's 1 L. Ooh, is that right, though? I might just hit bang and hit it. All right. Oh, it was right. We got 100%. Darrell Williams with 1 L for Cardinals and Chiefs, and then Tyrann Mathieu, Texans and Chiefs. Bang, 9 out of 9.
D-A-R.
We did it.
How the hell?
Darrel Williams.
Hell yeah.
Because I remember he was playing for the Cardinals last year because I was trying to watch, what's their main running backs? James Conner. And
Yep.
Darrell Williams was stealing some of his scores. And then he got hurt. Bang. Our first ever Immaculate.
I'm glad you got that one because I would not have gotten that one. 4% too.
Yeah. Whew. Let's go.
Let's go. We cooked on that one. What were the most popular
That
ones?
was fast.
Oh,
Tyrann Mathieu was
for
most
the
popular for
Cardinals.
Cardinals Chiefs. Justin Reed.
Justin Reed, that's who it was.
That's who I was thinking of with the. He was a cornerback. And then Jamal Charles.
AJ Boye.
Jonathan Taylor, Edgar James. So we had all the most popular except for
AJ Bouye.
AJ Bouye, and we ended up putting Darrell Williams and Tyrann Mathieu over. So we just AJ Bouye played for the Texans.
I would not have thought he would have been the most popular one.
Let's go. Our first 9 out of 9. All righty.
Good work.
Austin's week for roulette. I need him to put his numbers in there for me.
Oh, I mean, you could have just copied and
Left 'em.
pasted, but
Okay.
yep.
If you're never gonna change them, just let me know and I'll just copy and paste every week. I think you also.
I mean,
did,
most
I
likely.
think you did 13 last week, by the way.
Yeah, we're going 12 this week because 12
1,
hit
2,
last
3,
time.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, I don't know why I thought that was too many numbers. You're doing 12 instead of 13.
Yep.
That's weird, but we'll roll with it. Oh.
Oh, by the way, episode 1, Hard Knocks tonight.
Yep. So we'll have a recap next week. It sucks they're launching them on Tuesday, but we'll still be able to talk about it.
We'll just do a live review.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. There's only 7 seconds. I'm just gonna wait for the next roll.
Smart.
Hopefully this isn't one of our numbers here. 7 just hit. Do we do 7? No.
Nope.
Yeah, I'm going to Nashville this week, so
Yeah,
our
I'm
weekend
gonna keep
recap will
12.
be pretty fun next week.
You can
we
bet
missed
in
4
10C
Lightning
too.
numbers. None of our numbers, though, on the Lightning numbers. What do we got? What do we got? And it was 26, not of ours. Okay. 26
Ouch.
just hit back to back. All right, so we got 0, 2, 3, 9, 12. Gross.
22, 23, 24, 30, 36.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay. We're good. We got them in. 2 seconds
good.
till our roll here. Let's see if we can go back to back again.
Back to back with back to back.
Lightning, yeah, right. Our Lightning numbers, we got 3 of them. 7, 9, and 34.
All right, so
We got 9 at 100x. We got 9 at 100x.
Come on, baby.
Come on, baby. Landed in there. No way. Franke. 13.
What? Are you?
On my mother's life, 13. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I can't believe you did that to us.
I wish you could see my face right now.
I saw it landed there, and oh my God, I can't believe you did that to us. Oh, never in 100 years would I have thought that was going to happen. I'm going to watch the next roll just to see what it would have been. I can't believe you did that. Oh, only 1 Lightning number on the next round. It's 17. Gross.
That hurts, dude. That hurts.
Are you going to change that back to 13 for next week now?
I feel like it's bad luck to do that now.
It might be. Then next week 12 hits. And then 15 hits.
Nah,
So
next
that's a
week
bad
we're
streak.
going all together different. Well, I'll keep it there for now. Next week we're going all together different number there.
You can
We'll keep
just,
23,
You can
but
just change it next week. That brings us to we are down 90 for the year. However, we obviously did that $50 special, so technically 40. Not too bad. We hit twice last week. We just got to do that one more time. But yeah, anything else? You got anything else?
no, I should have kept 13.
You should have. But hey, I'm going to Nashville this week, so next week's weekend recap should be pretty fun. If you guys are going to be down there, come say hi. Any of the 80 of you know. All right. Have a great weekend, everybody. Let's hit some tanks, door some tutties. We'll see you next week.
Hey.